Chris always said, the body will do whatever the mind tells it to. I'm counting on that now. I stand before you, a broken woman, but I am now and always will be the wife of a man who is a warrior both on and off the battlefield. Some people along the way have told Chris that through it all, he was lucky I stayed with him. I'm standing before you now to set the record straight. Remember this, I am the one who is literally, in every sense of the word, blessed that Chris stayed with me.
All right, folks, joining us now is Taya Kyle, widow of American sniper, Navy SEAL hero Chris Kyle, and she is the author of American Wife, a memoir of love, war, faith, and key to that, I think, renewal. And welcome. It's so great to meet you. Such a pleasure.
Thank you. Appreciate
How
having
tough
me.
is it for you to watch that?
You know, it's different all the time, and today it felt, I could feel my heart rate go up a little bit, and the analytical side of my brain kind of takes over, and I think, wow, has it been that long, and those kind of thoughts. And
you started that little video by saying the mind and the heart. You have persevered. You would look at you. I mean, you come in here. You're just a little, behind the scenes. You're joking around. You're happy. You're energetic, and I think you're just consumed by what's in this book. And it's a renewal for you, is it not?
Right. It is. I think that grief is such an interesting thing, and that it's a long journey, and I feel like I learned a lot in my life with Chris, and part of that was that you have to find the time to laugh, and you have to joke about things, or you really won't make it. And I give a lot of credit to HarperCollins, William Morrow. They have a wonderful publicist who's with me, and she knows I've started out my days sometimes crying with her, and then yeah, you get in the groove. You got a job to do. You're going to come out and deal with your emotions. And
there is so much in this book that, I mean, I couldn't do it justice, but something strikes me. The trial, which I want to get to in a second, but also your insistence upon seeing your husband's body after the shooting. Right. The cop said no, you insisted, and talk about what you did and why you wanted to do that.
There's just this, Chris and I went through a lot together. I saw him through a lot of injuries and surgeries, and we also spent time with a lot of veterans who had some pretty horrific experiences that left them really in bad shape. And I knew there was just nothing that could happen to his body that would make me not want to see him, alive or dead. It just felt like a natural thing, and some of it was irrational. I know I can't fix it, and I know that
you hugged him.
Yeah. I know the spirit isn't there, but I had to be with him.
And do you regret it, that being your last vision of him? Or
no, I am so grateful. And I did see him after that when they, dressed him up and did all that. But no, I wouldn't trade that time with him for anything, because it was the closest to his last breath that I could get.
A stupid question that I have to ask you. In the movie, you were on the phone with him a couple of times. When the phone dies out and you're like, Chris,
Right.
Did that really happen, or was that poetic license?
No, that really happened, and I'm not the only one that's happened to either. Yeah.
I said to my son, I said, maybe I can't imagine being on the other end of the phone.
Right.
I mean, if I'm talking to my son and he's somewhere and I lose him, I panic. Here he is off to war.
Right.
I couldn't imagine
it is.
that. Yeah.
I think you get to that point too, where you have to try to be rational about it and make sense of it. So it happens, and then you say, okay, they're in firefights sometimes every single day. Just because you heard gunfire doesn't mean that, right? But it takes a while to get to that point. Your first reaction, the first time especially, is exactly what you saw.
How would Chris have reacted, and how do you react to when the Joint Chiefs Chairman, General Martin Dempsey, Debbie Lee wrote an open letter in response saying that Ramadi really didn't matter. Of course, she lost her son there. He was featured in the movie with your husband's story. Did that affect you at all?
I think I've gotten this ability to look at the bigger picture a little bit, right? And I do try to always look at somebody's motivations. I'd like to give people the benefit of the doubt until I'm proven wrong. So I don't know if there was something strategically that he was referring to, or if he really meant that everything that ever happened in that place didn't matter. If that's the case, clearly you couldn't be more wrong.
Right. And you know, being from Texas you know what happened Sunday, being so close to your home and where you're from. Again, if Chris were around, what would he have thought that now ISIS has gotten to the point where they're saying these were our soldiers who wanted to go into that center and shoot up 300 people? I mean, would he be disappointed that it's come to this, that we haven't defeated ISIS, that we haven't gotten the job done? How do you think he would have reacted to all that?
You know, I think the reality is, and most people who are dealing in that world know that it's always a threat, and that the American public is very, very fortunate to be ignorant to a lot of things that are stopped and thwarted every day in this country, let alone around the world. So I think that he would not have been surprised that it happened. But I do think that it's something that anybody who has the capability to fight that would want to be in the fight to try to stop it and protect Americans. It's unfortunate. I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't think they're going away.
Right.
Is my point.
How are your kids?
They're great, honestly. You know, they're little people too, and so their grieving is going to take a long time. Sure. But they have such a good foundation, and they know that above and beyond anything else, their dad loved them.
And they got a great mother.
Oh,
they really do. From the little I could ascertain, and from what's in the book, they got a great mom and a great start with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I
the book, ladies and gentlemen, American Wife, Love, War, Faith, and Renewal. Taya Kyle. Do yourself a favor, pick it up. There's Mother's Day, there's Father's Day, and you don't even need a reason really to pick up the book. We're coming back. More of the show. Don't go away, folks.